Today I'm going to review Frankenstein, the 1910 version. First, subscribe to my channel, got some brilliant things coming. Frankenstein is an American short silent horror film from 1910, and this is the first adaptation of Frankenstein to the screen. It's based on the novel by Mary Shelley, Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus, and this came out in 1818. So this is the first proper horror film, although it only runs 16 minutes. It was written and directed by J. Searle Dawley, and it was shot in just 3 days. The writers wanted to use Mary Shelley's novel, but they didn't want to use all the horror in the novel, so they toned it down. Instead of using grotesque parts of the novel, they made it more mysterious and magical. And this is relevant in the creation of the monster. The film was supposed to have been lost, but a print was recovered in the mid-1970s. The film was restored in 2010, and it was restored a second time in 2016 by the Film Society of the University of Geneva. The film stars Augustus Phillips as Frankenstein, Charles Stratton Ogle as the monster, and Mary Fuller as Elizabeth. So this is the first Frankenstein film put to screen, but it only lasts 16 minutes. 16 minutes too bloody much. Have to admit, I'm not a fan of silent films. There is some good ones. I think my favourite's Nosferatu. I also like The Phantom of the Opera, Metropolis, and there's a few I haven't seen. Hexen, Witchcraft Through the Ages, and there's a Hunchback of Notre Dame one I haven't seen. I do like the Alfred Hitchcock ones as well, like stuff like The Lodger. That's a good silent film. I can't stand bloody silent films. They're all shit. But for me, proper horror films started with the 1931 version of Dracula, starring Bela Lugosi. You really need sound to appreciate films. But he's bloody hammy bones, isn't he? Look at that bugger bones! Hey! Is he fucking dancing? Hey Phil! Look at its fucking feet! But this film is interesting, that there is some good things to it. The best bit about this film's the creation of the monster. You see him as a skeleton, and during the creation film it's more magical than other Frankenstein films. You actually see kind of like flesh coming onto the skeleton. So it reminds us a little bit of it like Clive Barker, a little bit like the beginning of Hellraiser, where flesh is added to this skeleton form. That was definitely the best part of the film. Hey Phil, that's me! Is that right, Bones? Really? You were in this film? Just kidding, you daft bugger. It's me bloody grandfather. The trouble with silent films is it's difficult to judge performances. And another irritating thing about silent films is the movements. They're all rushed and fast moving. And the prints change colour as well. I wonder why they do that. Sometimes it's like an orangey looking colour, then it's like a blue looking colour. I wish they'd stick to the same colour. And the guy who plays Frankenstein, he's really hammy. I know a lot of performances during this time were hammy. They had to do more expression, movements and everything because of the quality of the prints. Very like blurred. This guy really is hammy. And the monster makeup looks silly, especially the feet. The ginormous. Looks like a bloody clown. That bloody monster in its daft looking bloody long feet. Soft as shit. The appearance of the monster, the top part, it looks a little bit similar to the monster in Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. Like a big bulky, broad looking monster and hairy. And the actual story is a bit weird as well. I had problems with the ending. Like towards the end of the film, the monster, it's like looking in a mirror and stuff. And for some reason it just vanishes. And that's like the end of the story. Like no real explanation why the monster just vanishes. So I thought that was ridiculous. But it is interesting. You have to take into account this is 1910, and it's kind of like the first horror film, really. I can't think of any before it. And the restoration of this print, it is clear for the age of the film. So they did a brilliant job with that. And it's on YouTube if you want to watch it. But overall, the performances were too hammy. The story was a bit rubbish and the monster looked crap. I especially had a problem with his ginormous feet. But it is a good curiosity item to watch. It only lasts 16 minutes, so it's well worth watching if you haven't seen it, just for curiosity. Out of 10, I've got to give it a lower mark. But I'll be generous, I'll give it 4. Aww. 4 out of 10. It did start off horror films. So what did you think, Bones? Did you like it?
I thought it was a load of old bollocks. You can't beat Hammer Films. They did the best Frankenstein films and the Universal ones. Yeah! Better than all this silent old bollocks.
I'll review a modern horror film next. Because with this channel there's lots of contrast between old films, modern films, TV shows. So that's the best thing about this channel, Bones. There's lots of variety. Okay everybody, bye! See you next time. Like, subscribe and share. Bye.